Hi, I am ElysiaTeh, the founder of ESG Integration in Organization. This video could be a little bit long because I want to lay a solid ground for the rest of the videos. One thing we want to be clear is, in the world of finance, particularly in Europe, where ESG was founded, a legal framework had been established since 2005. EFFAS is the only legitimate institution conducting ESG courses and issuing ESG certification for individuals or professionals to serve in financial sector, particularly for investment-related services. Therefore, when we carry the title CESGA, it simply means we are a certified financial professional in ESG. That's all. The biggest challenge is the application. How well, how profound, and how accurate the person could apply the financial skills if without a professional accounting background or without hands-on experience. To be specific, what is ESG for? Number one is for making sure how capital is owned and used. Number two is for making sure the capital behaves the way its ultimate owners wanted it to behave. Because a huge amount of capital was owned by people who really do care. ESG was launched under the slogan, "Who cares wins." In essence, the phrase was coined to directly counter the non-financial concerns that would hurt investment performance. The "who cares wins" highlighted that ignoring the factors was actually a failure of fiduciary duty because they have a material bottom line impact on a company's long-term value and risk profile. Meaning, the investor who cares about ESG factors will win. The investor who takes ESG factors into consideration will win. This is the essence of who cares wins. The key point here is when the investors care, organization must also care to implement it from top management to operation ground. I saw what has been missing, what needed to be fixed yesterday, but not happening. I'm going to do it from now on. James Gifford started it. ElysiaTeh finishes it. About ESG, the focal point is double materiality, the financial and non-financial factors. It's clear that the technicality has been underestimated. It is too naive to think all financial professionals, including accountants and auditors, can do a good job, or everyone with the title CESGA can do a good job. Let's talk about the reality of the financial sector. Quantification is not about creating and keeping carbon accounts, nor technical metric and data. Financial professionals, including accountants and auditors, are trained to identify materiality in financial figures. Let me reiterate. They are trained to identify materiality in financial figures. They are not trained to identify non-financial materiality. This is too challenging because non-financial factors are operational and people-related factors. It is already very challenging for the financial professionals, including the accountants and auditors, to identify non-financial factors from the financial figures. I repeat, it is already very challenging for the financial professionals, including the accountants and auditors, to identify non-financial factors from the financial figures. Can you imagine if they do not have enough experience on operational and people-related issues? I was hired to train financial professionals, especially the accountants and auditors. I trained them how to interpret the stories behind the figures, what to present to the top management, and what to present to the board of directors, how to articulate the focal points that are important to them. Why? Not to mention they do not know operations. More importantly, they don't know what the top management and the board of directors think, what are important to them. The financial professionals, especially the accountants and the auditors, approach me. They want me to teach them how to talk to investors, how to build relationship with the investors. Do you see the point? To do a good job in ESG integration, integrating ESG factors. Number one, we must have strong financial technicality to identify financial materiality. See non-financial factors from the financial figures. Then have the ability and competency to identify non-financial factors from the operations and people-related issues. Number two, everyone can claim that they can do it. In reality, when they do not have financial background or operational background, they are too naive to claim so. And the public is too naive to believe so. The point is, when things are doing it the same way for a long time, don't mean they are right things to do or they are doing it right. Even when most people acknowledge it as a norm, it must be the unbreakable norm. No. We need someone who is firm and determined to break through. I saw what has been missing, what needed to be fixed yesterday, but not happening. I'm going to do it from now on. James Kiefer started it. ElysiaTeh finishes it. Let's talk about the reality of the non-financial aspect. Why is it the corporate background and experience important? Let me share with you my corporate financial background. In the year 2000, I was in the US, worked for a company that faced the pressure to expand their product lines through importing. I was hired to start an import-export department. In a very short time, I was promoted from a manager to be the vice president of international business development. China joined the World Trade Organization, WTO, on December 11, 2001. I represented the US company and flew to China in January 2002 to start my international business journey with China. Like the international companies all over the world, I started surveying China from all major cities. I literally witnessed the growth of China and be part of it. In 2003, I was headhunted by another American company to lead and in charge a joint venture mission. They were desperate. I made them talk to my president, and my president released me because he said they needed me more. From 2003 to 2006, I completed the American-Chinese joint venture mission. It was a factory making automotive products. I was the driving force for the company registration, land purchasing, factory building, QS9000 system establishing, until the factory started delivering products. I was the key driving force from the US end. This US company, on the first day I walked into the headquarters, I was ushered to the boardroom. The board of directors were there, ready to let me take charge. I held two positions. One is the chief financial officer for the JV company and as the vice president of international business development at the HQ. After that, I continued to work between the US and China in outsourcing industry. I was the president for this American sourcing company. Outsourcing was a challenging task because the first challenge was to get the American company sign contract with us, appointed us to outsource for them. This involved a key business negotiation skill, the power to make them believe that we could do a good job for them. We were good at what we are doing. Not to mention the complication of the entire process from outsourcing to delivery. That involved supplier audit, supplier training, shipping, logistic arrangement, custom declaration solution, etc. Before I officially ceased my international career in 2019, I was a manufacturing representative, helped the Chinese factory penetrated the US market directly, completed a full cycle from the US to China and from China back to the US. I can't talk about all the details. It would take too long. Nonetheless, if you ask me what is the biggest challenge for what I had gone through, it is to handle the cultural differences between the Americans and the Chinese is beyond imagination. Now, do you see why I could instantly spot the fact that ESG remains as financial? It has not been implemented all the way down to the operation ground. No, not yet. Most of the key countries do realize that ESG integration needs to be implemented in organization from the top management to operation ground. But how? The financial professionals do not have enough of the background and experience in operation and people related issues. And the organization do not have enough financial background and experience. I have both the financial and non-financial background and experience. I know the details and challenges at every step, every level, and every department. Talking alone can't help. It will be too naive to think if I tell you, you can understand and you can do it. I bet you most people who talk, they don't know enough how to implement it. Perhaps they are too naive to believe they know enough to talk, meaning they also know how to do it. I'm not naive. I see the fact that ESG is financial and it has not been truly implemented in organization. James Clifford started it. I want to complete the vision and mission of ESG. The ESG market is in confusion. People self-define ESG with SDG contents, Sustainable Development Goal. United Nations Declaration of Sustainable Development is, we are committed to achieving sustainable development in its three dimensions: economic, social, and environmental. Meaning, the United Nations encourage people to work on the economic or social or environmental projects. It is project-based. It's cost burden because we did not justify it at the financial decision stage. To conclude, in implementation, we need to know how to relate financial technicality to specific operations at different levels and different departments. At different level, the cognitive power is different. The focuses are different and the responsibilities are different. For example, when we walk into production department, how do we make them believe that we know enough to tell them what to do? What about the engineers, the QC and QS department, the HSE, supply chain, logistics, etc.? What about to the top? How do you talk to the C executive or the board? How do you train people when you have never been in that position? The key point is, why do we need two different phrases to talk about the same thing? What happened in the market now is people are bold to self-claim ESG title without legitimate ESG certification. How do you know? Number one, ESG does not appear in non-financial sector. Period. ESG is financial as it is now. For the non-financial sector, this is what I am trying to do. I am the founder of ESG Integration in organizations. Number two, check it out. When people talk about ESG integration, but the content is sustainable development projects, they talk about greenhouse gases projects, carbon dioxide impact. They talk about circular businesses. They talk about social works, etc. These are sustainable development projects. Number three, when they do not have financial background and do not have the relevant corporate background and experience, they are not legitimate. Last but not least, it is not difficult to see that it is monkey follow monkey talk. No point, not practical, can't see result. Only the original and legitimate version has the empirical evidence. To conclude this video, I will say this: you are who you are in action. Self-claim does not qualify you as who you claim to be. Check it out who they are. Watch this video a few times until you are clear. For you to understand what I can do for you in ESG integration in organization, from the next video onward, I will be discussing about situations related to ESG. From how I analyze what I see and how I explain logically, you will see what I can do for you. Watch out for the next video. See you. I'm ElysiaTeh, the founder of ESG Integration in Organization. James Clifford started it. ElysiaTeh finishes it. Thanks for watching.